Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new kind of video series I'm going to start doing. Very easy. I'm just using my webcam right here at my computer. Super simple to do, so I can pump out a lot of these. Basically, as I see movies and TV shows, I'm going to try to say something about it every single one in these bite-sized movie reviews. And today, I'm going to kick it off with Get Out, which I just saw last night. So I'm thinking basically anything that I want to do a video on that's long form, I'll do that, like Black Mirror or whatever. But if I finish something else, I'm going to talk about it. I'm just going to say something on here. Even if it's unremarkable, even if I don't have a whole lot to say, I'm just going to try to put something out just so that I can kind of keep this going. Because I've been kind of trying to increase the movies that I see. I'm a pretty lazy person, I think, in this day and age with YouTube and Netflix streaming. It's so easy to just have really quick entertainment. It's a lot easier for someone to do 15 10-minute videos in a row than for them to do a 90-minute 120-minute movie. Sad as it is, people don't like to dedicate all that time for a movie, but they'll do pieces for YouTube videos or TV shows. People just binge The Office, like it's no tomorrow. So I'm trying to kind of tone down that. I'm trying to read more books physically. I'm trying to watch more movies. And I'm also, in tandem with that, I'm also trying to get caught up on the Oscar nom kind of sweep. 2018 Best Picture nominations: Call Me by Your Name, haven't seen it. Darkest Hour, haven't seen it. Dunkirk, haven't seen it yet, but I'm planning on doing that soon. Get Out, just saw that. Lady Bird, haven't seen it. Phantom Thread, haven't seen it. The Post, haven't seen it. Shape of Water, haven't seen it. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, have not seen it. I've only seen one Best Picture nom, and I want to change that. So I'm probably going to see Call Me by Your Name next. Dunkirk will be soon. Phantom Thread as soon as I can get the chance. No theater seems to be playing it here. Big PTA fan. Can't wait to see that. I want to see Billboards and Shape of Water. Not super interested in The Post. I've heard nothing but good things about Lady Bird, but I'm not super interested in that, and I could care less about Darkest Hour. So I have a Letterboxd account, which if you haven't been to this website, it's Letterboxd, but BOXD, the E is removed from boxed.com. And it's basically just like a movie review or movie list making site. So you can add movies you've seen, ones if you've watched it and if you liked it. So for example, I went through like the list of movies on the site, which is just all the movies, and I sorted it by popularity, I think, or by rating. And I just went backwards basically until I was like 300 pages in, and didn't have. I promise I'll get to the review in a sec. Didn't have any more movies that I recognized. It was all weird B movies. So I'm like, I think I've gone far enough. I have seen, if I go to my profile, I have seen 1,017 films, and I like. It doesn't say how many I like. I don't think. I like a very small portion of that, basically. A much smaller portion of that. However, in trying to increase the movies I've seen, I figured, I should probably try to do something with that, because if I'm going to see all these movies, which I've seen some really interesting ones lately. Let me just read off a couple interesting movies I've seen, ones that I won't do videos on. Sort by when added. So, recently saw Your Name, which is an anime film that just so happened to be on IMDb's top 250. Came out last year, I think, or 2016. That was really good. I really liked that one. Saw Paprika, my first Satoshi Kon, I believe is his name, animator from Japan. First movie of his I've seen. That was a fantastic movie as well. So I've just been trying to kind of catch up on my movie watching. So I'll just get right into Get Out, and how I feel about it. I really want to avoid controversy here, okay? Because I know that this is a socio-political conscious movie, okay? So my critiques on it, I want to really kind of qualify and not, not beat around the bush, but also be very clear about what I'm trying to say. I didn't like this movie. I'm probably going to get lambasted just for that because this movie has, I'm pretty sure, a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment. 99, almost 300 fresh reviews, 296 fresh reviews, 3 rotten, okay? It says funny, scary, thought-provoking. Get Out seamlessly weaves its trenchant social critiques into a brilliantly effective and entertaining horror/comedy thrill ride. Okay. My main problems with the movie was the socio-political message it was trying to say. I thought it said in a very not confusing, but just kind of muddled way. And it was also, I'm going to sound racist saying this, but I'm going to unpack this in a moment. It seemed like an unremarkable thing, at least to me. I'll unpack that in a moment. And then the other things were, as a movie, regardless of whatever message it's trying to say, it was just kind of bland. It didn't do anything for me. I wasn't scary. My palms never got sweaty, mom spaghetti. I never laughed. It didn't seem funny to me. I mean, the TSA guy was kind of comical, but I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of humor. And the drama just wasn't that engaging to me. Like 90% of the drama just kind of fell flat. I'd say the best drama came from the character of Chris, Daniel Kaluuya. Kaluuya, I hope I'm saying that right. His backstory and kind of dealing with the death of his mother. That was probably the best part of the acting and drama in the movie. But I'm gonna just quickly unpack this thing that I talked about before getting into just the movie itself, because I want to explain how I feel about this. This is spoilers, by the way. Obviously, I'm gonna spoil every movie I review. So, my takeaway from the message this movie is trying to say is people who aren't black, by kind of like patting black people on the head and being like, "Oh, I like black people." Yeah, that's doing more harm than good. And there's also seems to be some kind of jealousy when it comes to black people. It's like, "Oh, I wish I could be black because they might be getting a little bit of special treatment now." People are probably have different interpretations of this thing, and they're probably going to go crazy in the comments explaining how they felt about it. But I feel like this is kind of the standard thing to take away. I mean, even just reading the Wikipedia, the themes. See if I can read this. The same thing Get Out does so well, and the thing that will rankle with some viewers is to show how, however unintentionally, the same people can make life so hard and uncomfortable for black people. And before the reveal happens in the movie of like what actually is going on, the most that occurs is like people who just can't help but bring up that this guy's black. Like, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is the movie, and what white woman Rose brings black boyfriend Chris back to the house for the weekend or whatever. And a lot of her parents' friends meet Chris, and of course they just can't help but like bring up the fact that he's black, and not even in a way that indicates that they dislike black people. It's just they can't help but touch on that hot button subject. And the reveal of the movie, people implant their consciousness into these black people who have been hypnotized and taken to this place, so they can live out their lives as black people. It's almost like a recycling. What was that movie? There was a movie, Parts, The Clonus Horror, which was an MST3K movie, where spoilers for that Mystery Science Theater episode movie. There's this place where they basically took the DNA of old people grew new versions of them as young people, and then once they reached a good age, they would kill them and harvest their parts out so that the people could take their own parts grown by their own DNA and just kind of be revitalized. It's kind of what this reminded me of, where, oh, here's this, 20, 30-year-old black guy married to a 50-year-old white woman. How'd that happen? Oh, well, it's because the old white guy put his consciousness into this black guy. And what happened in the movie, I'm like, well, why black people? And I was thinking about that. And then, like, during a montage, it was just someone at the party said, black seems to be in fashion now. So, I mean, either white people are jealous of black people because they're being kind of, treated dotingly now, I guess. I don't know. Or it's just a shallow, trendy thing to think like, oh, well, let's do it with black people now, right now. That seems good. That's what didn't really seem remarkable to me, because, like, I mean, like I said, I'm not on the receiving end of this at all. Maybe it gets really old. The character in the movie just seemed kind of like, it's whatever. It happens all the time. He didn't seem like super perturbed. It was just kind of an annoyance that he dealt with until the reveal and then the craziness began. So, I mean, I feel like if this were to be happening to me, I wouldn't feel like a massive problem. It would just be kind of an annoyance socially. So it doesn't feel like a huge revelatory kind of, movie dealing with slavery. Like, I don't see any kind of bigger themes beyond that that really apply to the real world that you can take outside of this movie. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But, like, first, viewing of this movie, probably only viewing of this movie, I didn't see anything else. So that just kind of fell flat to me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Now, because that message didn't seem remarkable to me, it was a concept I already had in my head. It wasn't like a new revelation. It's like, I'm sure black people deal with that all the time. And I actively try to avoid that when I interact with people of races other than mine, because I don't care what race you are. I don't need to bring that up. Because that fell flat for me, the only thing I had left was the rest of the movie, which, like I said, it's just kind of bland to me. I wouldn't call it a tonal mess. I would call it a movie without a tone. It was really bizarre, because it didn't like go like this, like min-maxing. It was just kind of like just always in the middle, like really borderline milquetoast, because, like, it wasn't scary, because while it was trying to be scary, it was also trying to be humorous. And it's like those two things just equaled each other out. Whereas, like, with, like, Shaun of the Dead, it's like, oh, it's funny, and it's also, like, kind of terrifying because someone's dying right now. Whereas this movie didn't do that. This movie, it just kind of played the middle ground the whole time. Musical stings during jumpy moments, like, oh, a woman walked by in the background. I'm getting so tired of that. It happened so much in it, and I'm just tired of that. Like, I'd like a little bit of slow build up. Like, there was a good moment when Chris went outside and the guy was, like, running towards him. That was in the trailer. I didn't know what was going to happen there, but I thought, like, oh, that's kind of nice. It's like, it's framed well. There's some good cinematography in this, I'll say that. Some nice shots, a good long shot at the beginning of the movie. I'll give credit where credit is due. The climax felt, I was talking to my wife about this. The climax felt really like a kind of wet, just like a fart, that kind of, and then the movie's over. And I mean that in, when you watch a movie and there's like a twist or a reveal that sets the stage for the final part of the movie, where you're like, okay, unless it's a movie with a billion twists, like Wild Things, a movie that has a twist, kind of towards the end of Act 2, and it sets the stage for Act 3, and you're pretty much a normal movie in Act 3. It's just there's been a paradigm shift in the narrative. It's really satisfying when a good movie is able to do that reveal and have so much like everything to the back to the beginning of the movie lock into place, and that fuels Act Three. That fuels the climax, where you're like, oh, this person was this, and that was that, and then you can like deal with those plot points in a very satisfyingly dramatic way. For better or for worse, I think the first Bioshock game did this, because there's a point in the game. Well, probably went on for a little too long, which is a criticism that that game gets a lot. The kind of final act after the twist happens is a little too long, which I would agree. But it really sets the stage for like, oh, now I get to learn all this new stuff and what things actually mean. It's almost like relearning the whole thing, and that kind of gears you up to the final battle at the end, the final showdown. There's been a fair amount of movies that have done this for me. Get Out was not one, because when the reveal happens, there's only like 20 minutes left in the movie in terms of like what is going on here with these black people. Why are they acting weird? Once the reveal happens, you have like 15 minutes left, and it just kind of rushes, and you don't get to like have much satisfying. There isn't that much of a satisfying shift, because as soon as you show up at this house, you're like, something weird is going on. It's not like it's not like Rosemary's Baby, where you're like, is something strange going on? Is this all in my head? It's like, no, these people are weird. They're acting strange and they're hiding something. I mean, that's not a secret. It's not in this guy's head, because like it was kind of funny watching the first half of this movie because being the Chris's reaction to everything, it felt like I felt, where like something would happen and he'd be like, "What the hell?" He would just move on. Like that's what I was saying. The whole movie is like, what the hell? Like what? Why did that just happen? Why did that just happen? I didn't really know what to make of it. It just, I've seen movies that have done all this better. I mean, you go down into the Wikipedia and it says, see also, The Stepford Wives, Rosemary's Baby, Society, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Those are movies that have all done like the same ideas, narrative wise. And it's just like Rosemary's Baby did it better. I've heard Stepford Wives is entertaining. I don't know. That's most of what I have to say. Sorry. I noticed that Daniel got nominated for lead actor. Bless him. I loved him in the Black Mirror episode I saw him in. This is the only other thing I've seen him in. Bless him. I don't think he deserves lead actor here. Not because he was a weak actor, but because there wasn't enough substance here to warrant getting best actor. Like I said, the famous scene where his eyes are wide open, he's crying. A cool moment in the movie relating to like the death of his mother. But everything aside from that, he's walking around. Yeah, I'm black, thanks. What the hell? And then the twist happens, and he turns into a sociopathic killing machine, and kills everyone in the house with like a blank face, and then leaves and gets in the car with his friend, and they drive off, and he's just stone faced, and I'm like, what? Like it's hard to get a read on this guy and see how he feels about anything, because he just kind of feels like the blank everyman you put yourself into, which maybe is the point, but not best actor. I'm sorry. That's really all I have to say. I went on for a little longer than I should have. It's not really bite-sized, but this is my first video. So go ahead and tear me apart in the comments. Tell me why I'm absolutely wrong about this. I'm probably going to disagree with everybody, because I don't think anyone will be able to convince me, but please try, because I just don't see it. But yeah, this got nominated for Best Picture, and that's crazy to me. Because it's unremarkable in terms of comedy and horror as well. I don't think it's a great horror movie. I don't think it's a great comedy movie. It's barely a drama movie. I don't know. It's really bizarre. I've never seen a movie so bizarre as this one. Maybe there's other people out there who feel that same way, but I would say it was just okay. Like, I didn't dislike it, I just was really indifferent. And don't get the crazy praise it's been getting. And if it's been getting praise just because people are like, yeah, a movie that talks about race, then I think that's stupid, because you should be praising the message this movie is saying. I just think the message is unremarkable, like I said. That's it. I love all races. That is the end of this video. I'm going to do another one here in a moment. And like I said, every time I watch something, I'll make a video on it. So the next movie I'm going to do is Straw Dogs, which I saw a couple nights ago. I'll talk to you about that here in a moment. Thank you everyone for watching. And like I said, please let me know in the description how you felt about Get Out. Don't be afraid to say spoilers, because that's kind of the whole idea of these movie reviews. It's just kind of a discussion and talking about the way I feel about these movies. But thank you again for watching, and I will see you later.